Hey there friends and enemies, JoPaWrites here again, and over the weekend we finally saw some vault and boss fight gameplay for Borderlands 4, and I figured I would check it out. I've only seen clips so far, so I'm really excited to really dive deep. This video is from IGN, and I figured I would check it out. Now, I will link the original video in the description down below, but let's see what they have for us today.
Face down one of Kairos's perilous vaults, where all manner of aliens, beasts, and armed thugs assaulted me as I neared ever closer to
that gun looks sick, by the way. It looks like a Vex Mythoclast from
The loadout I got
Destiny.
to use for this section was farther along in the story, and so I had a significantly stronger arsenal to play with. And as I explored, someone or something called the Watching Gee filled my head with some vaguely creepy nonsense. This all culminated in an extremely cool boss fight
Vex too.
that dropped some seriously cool loot for me. So sit back and enjoy some unedited footage of me delving into a vault in Borderlands 4.
Alright, I like that this is unedited, so I can kind of just give my thoughts. It's like a single tap scout rifle almost. Like a marksman rifle type. Interesting. He's not using a lot of abilities right now. There it is. Look at this thing. Now this is a beast. Is that a fully auto rocket launcher? Okay, that's sick. Oh, fight for your life. Yeah, don't shoot the badass.
Glad you are.
Yeah, the guns so far look really fun to use. A lot of variety there. There we go. Now we got some summons going. He's got his stim pack he's not using like so far. Ooh, those Reapers look pretty sick. That you can summon from the from Vex. Yeah, now that he's got a Reaper out, he's starting to melt enemies a lot faster. I don't know if this is just going to be waves of enemies, but so far he's got his other abilities too. Besides his primary. I like that gun right there because it shows you like ammo and various features on the right and left hand side. Like, I think that's a pretty sick update, and it looks so clean too. His bulkhead's a unit. So yeah, it looks like he's just fighting waves of enemies right now. Use your, yeah, I don't know why he didn't use his, little stim pack that you got. I know it probably takes some getting used to playing for the first time, but...
I'm playing as Vex, the Siren. Specifically, a build of her that relies on summoning spectral warriors to help me in battle, which is particularly nice in this instance since I was running solo. Some of the perks in my tree included Ghast Blaster,
yeah, that
which
ordnance
gave my
slots
minions
looks sick. The rocket
projectile
launcher.
weapons, Coven, which regenerated health and gave a critical chance to my...
So that rocket launcher essentially replaces his grenade, so if you're kind of curious why he's not tossing grenades, that would be why.
And all my minions whenever I spawned a certain type of minion called a Reaper, and Hellish Harvest, which gave those same Reaper minions a melee ability that damaged nearby enemies with an area attack and regenerated health for each enemy hit. It was a pretty neat loadout that I didn't get to experiment with nearly enough, but already found myself falling in love with by the time I cleared the vault. Okay, I'll shut up for now until we get to the boss fight. Enjoy.
Call me Guardian. Call me Watcher. Call me the cold air on your neck.
I might skip towards the boss fight because it looks like it's going to be pretty similar. This reminds me of Destiny 2, where you're shooting from location to location. This ordnance looks sick. You can see the infinite ammo on the right. Yeah, then he's got a Spectre. I would be summoning them more often. It feels like the cooldown is not too crazy, so like you can just kind of spam them a little bit. Not like crazy, but I would try to. You could also try to make sure. Yeah, look. So, but they're still up, and he just got his charge back. So essentially, you should have a Reaper up at all times in order to maximize damage and do your best. Okay. Good to know. This gun looks sick, by the way. Charging up and then just doing a bunch of damage in one fell swoop. I'm gonna skip forward to the boss. I feel like we're pretty well set on the regular gameplay loop. Slam ability there.
There is still one more test before the vault is defeated.
Oh, that's the little voice in the head he was talking about. So this is go to a point of no return. Oh, you got the meds. Looks like he's
of the creator.
Yeah, you go into the little vending machines there. Swapping out the build a little bit. I want to see the intro of the boss here. Oh, here we go. Inceptus. Oh, that looks sick. It's like a panther,
right,
scorpion,
this
like
is the
a
primordial guardian Inceptus. Seriously, one of the coolest and mechanics
what are
heavy
those
bosses
panthers and Dungeon
I've
Dragons
seen in
called?
Borderlands. As you can see, he's got a pretty nasty bag of tricks that yank you around the map and deal serious damage, including some that have to be jumped over
That's what it
with
reminds
precise
me of.
timing to be avoided. The cool thing here is how it required me to rely on some
Wait, you
of
can
the
use your
new
grappling
mobility
hook? Oh, you
options
gotta shoot
like
those for
double
sure.
jump, mid-air glide, and the side dash to avoid taking damage and quickly get within view of the boss's weak points. I also had to use the grapple hook to tug on parts of old Inceptus's body and reveal those critical spots, which was a nice touch.
Oh, that's an interesting
The
way to,
importance
yeah,
of
I
those
like that a lot.
traversal tricks became especially relevant later on when I triggered one of this ugly guy's special phases, which we'll see here shortly.
Yeah, I do like that quite a bit. That you, oh, second one immediately, nice. There are little enemies to get your second one from. Yeah, so adding your grappling hook into combat, I think, makes a lot of sense. He's getting absolutely destroyed, by the way. Just one shot every time he gets hit.
Rise! I'm your Grim Reaper.
Yeah, he finally, okay, there he goes using his stim pack. Yeah, he's getting nukes. Did you just get grappled by that? That would be kind of annoying, a grappler on an enemy. Okay.
As you can see,
The
this
cocoon is
lad
crazy.
Putting himself
Wait, that
into
was
a
sick.
gross cocoon and filling the room with poison and making the ground completely lethal
Wait,
to me if I
that's
stood on
actually
it for
fire.
more than a couple seconds. To survive, I had to continuously grapple hook around like your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in a very deadly game of the floor is lava, taking shots at the boss's poisonous shell when in between grapples, and dodging his toxic spores. Yet again, Borderlands 4's new focus on mobility is on full
Could be
display,
annoying, but
as I
also
was
looks
really
very
forced
fun.
to master the grapple hook to
It's
stay
much
alive
different from what
and
we're
stand a
used to in the
chance
game.
against this guy.
I'm sure people will have builds where they can tank the damage on the ground and then also melt the boss at the same time, but I feel like having your summons up there would be nice, because I think your Reapers fly, right? Yeah, it looks pretty like a pretty interesting boss fight, and it doesn't look like he has the boss melting build for this one, so it's fairly challenging at this point. It looks like, especially solo. Yeah, just keeping that out does not try not to move. Yeah, oh, so he pulls you in and then hits you with his tail attack. That's pretty brutal. He hasn't used his rocket launcher at all for this. I wouldn't be surprised if that would do a good amount of damage. Cocoon face again. He hasn't really done a lot of damage yet, so it looks like melee might be the same button as the grapple, which is why I think he's like meleeing around at times when he's probably shouldn't be. Yeah, see? Probably take some time to get used to. You almost got it though. Oh, now we're starting to do real damage. A lot of phases before he starts to do a lot of damage. And it doesn't look like your allies, your summons, are really hitting the weak spot. Maybe once you summon the shooting ones instead of the Reapers. Yeah, he's just swinging his melee a lot. But it looks like you got it.
And booyah! Take that, you oversized lobster. Per usual,
Not a
winning
lobster.
the fight dropped a bunch of loot, but the real prize you'll see here in a minute when I open the chests and find the only legendary weapon I came across during the demo.
Let's see what we got.
A Jacob's pistol with the power to unload the entire clip at once, which was absolutely awesome. Naturally, I immediately took that bad boy out for a test
Phantom
drive
Flame.
by using it to kill the boss a few more times, just for good measure.
Ooh. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Do you have questions about Borderlands 4?
I do not. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. Let's give a recap. Vault looks pretty interesting. The gameplay loop looks fun. Vex is going to be my main. I'll probably go with the companion that follows you around, the little panther. But I do feel like this is going to be the first character that I really play. Kind of torn between her and Amon, but she looks very, very good. The boss fight, I think, looks interesting. Lots of different gameplay mechanics. Again, typically in Borderlands, once you have reached a certain damage threshold, you can bypass some of them. So I'll be very curious to see how that scales and how you'll have to deal with it later on. Maybe you get like a poison damage resist or something, so you can pretty much just tank the gas. We'll have to wait and see, but overall I thought that was a good boss fight, and the overall gameplay loop of the Vault looks pretty straightforward, but also exactly what you would expect and what you would want from Borderlands 4. So really excited. The more looks we get from this game, the more excited I am. not a Borderlands 3 defender, but I do feel like there's a lot there in that game to like, even though it did have its flaws. And it feels like Borderlands 4 is taking the steps forward that we would have hoped for. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like the video as always, comment, subscribe. Have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.